Alright everyone, it's Darth Foley. We're back for another Raid Shadow Legends video. So we're going to start off with the Ruel fusion. I'm literally 15 fragments away from being able to fuse him. Super close. We will get there, I think. Got probably at least 3 tournaments that I haven't earned the fragments in yet. So yeah, well, we should be able to get them. But today's topic of the video is going to be the top game-changing champions that I have for my account. Now, there's lots of champions that can really make a huge impact in your game. Things like an apothecary, a rare that you can pull for your early game. I mean, later on, you'll find some people that, some characters that, will do the similar things and do them better. But for the time being, he would suffice. So we're gonna get into it here. So the number 1 top game-changing champion that I pulled, Dracomorph. As you can see here, I have him in a Relentless set. I don't have a crazy amount of crit damage or anything on him. His crit rate's not even at 100%. I mean, it's close. It's at 86. But unfortunately, I'm just starting to get into like farming level 15 and level 20 dungeons. So once I can pull some better gear that will better suit him, I will definitely be doing some different artifacts. So, I mean, why he's such a game changer, I use him in my arena team. I bounce usually between silver 2 to bronze 4, because he's got the decreased defense and weaken. That ability alone is huge for clan boss. It's good in arena. It's good pretty much anywhere in the game. I mean, he plug in. About the only place in the game that I don't really use him is Fire Knight, but I could also use him there. So yeah, he's a great champ. He also has on his A2 the Poison Jaws. Attacks 4 times. Each hit places a 5% poison debuff for 3 turns. So poison is extremely good against the dragon. So this makes him super viable there. Obviously, if you're not running unkillable like I am in clan boss, I haven't been able to make an unkillable team yet. This is super valuable. Poison debuffs are an amazing way of doing damage. And then even on his A1, Seeping Pain, he attacks one enemy, damage increases by 10% for each debuff on the target. Will attack one random enemy with a surplus damage if target is killed. Damage inflicted is equal to triple the surplus damage. The surplus damage cannot be critical. So he puts out a ton of damage on his A1, and he just, yeah. Even in arena, that ability, Seeping Pain, I've gotten it to the point where I've tried to nuke a really high defensive team, hasn't quite worked out. He's been able to kill one person and then immediately hits somebody else and kills them. So then it's, a 2-on-4 and I win. He's absolutely probably the top game changer that I have for my account. And yeah. So the next big game changer that I'm going to say second is Ethos. Ethos is the main reason as to why I'm able to get into Silver Arena before their fix, and why I've been able to farm dungeons at a higher level. He is an absolute beast in the wave clearing. Now, again, I do have him in a Savage set. Obviously, I'm still pretty early game. I mean, I'm getting Sill of the Drakes this month. So, I don't have the top end gear that a lot of people do. That'll just come with time. I have him, his crit rate's at 96%, crit damage at 162. His speed's a little bit on the low side, but I'm trying to make sure he goes last in my arena team. But yeah, he just literally, he is the reason I can sometimes one-shot an entire wave If not, he pretty much takes everybody down to like at least a quarter health, and then it's very easy to push through the rest of them. I know obviously once you can get a crazy amount of crit damage on him, like I've seen people with over 250 crit damage on him, and he just one shots every wave. He he one shots arena teams. You know, Doom Tower, he's awesome. Like he's just been great for wave clearing, and he has been great for me in arena having an AOE nuker that I can actually use. Because before that, it was my Kale, my starting champ, and Ray, and my Ray isn't. She's okay. So the third one that we're actually going to go with is going to be Michal. Now, Michal was the third legendary that I ever pulled. I've been very, very good and disciplined at, keeping, making sure that I'm only opening shards on 2 times events. I will pull on a 10 times if, there is a champion that I desperately want, like the 10 times event when I pulled Ethos, I was going for a man eater and I never got one, because I would have had two of them at that point with Painkeeper, so I would have been able to make an unkillable team for sure. But yeah, he was the second legendary I ever pulled. He is solely the reason why I was basically able to clear out campaign mode up to Nightmare so easily. Um, I got him fully booked out. Attacks one enemy, heals his champion by 30% of the damage inflicted, will then attack all enemies under leech. Um, that in its own right is a great ability. Basically an AoE hitter. Here on his A2, it's on a pretty much, I would say it's on a one-turn cooldown, basically, because he places a 30% increased speed and 30% increased crit damage buff on all allies for 2 turns, places True Fear and Leech debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, and then grants an extra turn. So when you put the book there, it goes to a two-turn cooldown. With him granting himself the extra turn, it basically resets. So you always get to use this ability first. It is absolutely amazing. The leech is great because it helps heal your team. I have been using them in my clan boss teams to, keep the speed up, crit damage up doesn't hurt, and the leech to help heal them. And then he he just yeah, and he hits hard too. Like he does hit hard. His last ability attacks one enemy has an 80% chance, so 100% when booked, of stealing all buffs from the target before attacking. Places 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Also places two 15% continuous heal buffs on this champion for 3 turns. Damage increases by 50% against targets that have no buffs. He's awesome. Like he is awesome. I try to run him with as much accuracy and as much speed as I can right now, just because I want him going a lot. You can also build him into an absolute nuker. I've seen his basic hit upwards of 80,000, which is like that's a big attack. So you can build him for that. I've elected not to, but yeah, he still is a game changer for me. All right, so the next one we're gonna go to that I'm looking at here. Yes, I have Seer, but she's not working out too good for me right now. I can't get the crit damage on her. Miscreated Monster. I pulled this guy fairly early. He was actually one of the first epics that I pulled. Him and Michal were the two that I really used to push through all the campaign content. I put him in a shield set. I've got as much HP on him as I can from my account right now. Mastery wise, I went offensive and with the defensive stuff. The reason why I went offensive on him is just because of the fact that on his A2, he places a shield buff on all allies equal to 25% of the damage inflicted. So you want to build him with high damage, high accuracy, and high HP. It's kind of a lot to get the three together, but the like you want the accuracy so that you're landing stuns because he has stuns on his A1 and his A2. You want the damage literally for this ability because he can throw up a massive shield, and then you want the HP because all of his attacks are based off of HP. So I did put him in a shield set. I mean, I've thought about kind of tinkering with him a little bit and seeing what we can do differently with him. But yeah, he's if you pull him, he is an amazing champ. He's helped me out a ton in Spider's Den. He's helped me in some of the content clearing waves. He's great. About the only spot that I don't think he's overly usable unless you're early game is Clan Boss. Moving on, the next one that we're going to go to, believe it or not, is Verges. A lot of people sleep on this guy. I run him in my Clan Boss team because number one, he offers support, but number two, I built him out with defense masteries and offense masteries, and I don't even have him fully booked out yet or fully masteried out yet. He's got this awesome passive that on every single turn he puts a shield on himself and a continuous heal every time he drops, below 50% the shield. Every time he loses 10% of his max HP, he and it always happens. He's always going to lose 10%. This one, he puts a reflect damage on a random enemy. Doesn't, who cares? This ability here, he puts increased defense on himself. I guess I should just read it to you. Places 15% increase continuous heal buff and 30% increased speed buff and a 30% reflect damage buff on target ally for 3 turns. Also places a 50% ally protection buff on all allies except for this champion for 2 turns. Places 60% increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns. He's an amazing support character. I have him built out in Destroy gear as well, just because I had some good stuff laying around, and I use him literally for Scarab King. Once I get to the Scarab King, he usually ends up being about the only guy left after I get there, and he will solo it in Doom Tower. Like I said, I use him in Clan Boss. As soon as I get increased defense up on him, he hits anywhere between 70 to 80k, so he actually works almost like a DPSer for me too, as well as supporting. A lot of guys really sleep on this character. He's absolutely amazing. Great pull if you do pull him. I would definitely recommend building him out. So the last one that I'm going to talk about today that's been a game changer, and I'm going to say it's like 50% because his AI is a little kind of dumb in my opinion. Vizier. Now, I do spend a little bit in this game because I enjoy the game. I absolutely love the way this game is. I paid some money. I bought a pack of actual books to be able to book him out. So I have him in Relentless and Accuracy. Just because I want to make sure that land like increasing the debuffs and everything else. His A1 attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 50% chance when booked of increasing the duration of all debuffs for 1 turn. He literally and Dracomorph are the 2 reasons as to why I, at an early stage, can 3-key Nightmare Clan Boss. I 3-key it every day. I'd love to get it down to a 2-key, but that's just, I don't have the characters to do that yet. I don't have the champs to do it yet. But this ability alone is amazing. The reason why he's an honorable mention is because I also use him in Spiders. I use Dexter Blood Twin. I put an HP burnout. He's got this ability, applies a debuff spread, taking 2 random debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies. So what I really like about this, and it can work, but it doesn't work very well on auto. Dexter Blood Twin can put the HP burn on, and then he can spread it to everybody else, and then all the spiderlings, and then I just need to keep everybody alive, essentially. Do that a couple times, and you win. The problem with his AI is that he will use Master of Misery which puts block buffs, heal reduction, and decreased attack on the spider. I don't want more than 2 buffs because this will only spread 2 buffs. So when I put it on auto, what happens a bunch of times is he'll use this ability and then it'll have, say, HP burn, decreased attack, and block buffs. And then when he uses the debuff spread, it's the block buffs and the heal reduction, or the decrease block buffs or decreased attack. Basically, he doesn't spread the HP burn like I want. It's not like a horrible thing to be able to, like, have to manual it, but obviously there's a lot to do in this game, so it's just a little nicer when you can actually, um, just push the auto button, have it work. Unfortunately, he just doesn't work that well on it. I literally can go from on stage 15 spiders with that from a 100% win rate to like 40% win rate, just from going from manual to auto. And I'm not really a fan of that. I don't like it. I know I'm kind of picking him apart here. He is a phenomenal champ, especially for clan boss. Like, basically, I just keep using his basic ability for until I get, we'll say 6 to 7 stacks of all the debuffs that I want on there, and then I can just click auto and walk away from it, and I'm good for 13 to 15 million each key on Nightmare. So he's a great champ. He's a game changer for clan boss. You know, all of that, Like, he's absolutely amazing. One that I almost forgot about is a rare is Cold Heart. I have 2 Cold Hearts that are completely maxed, and then I literally have 3 more just sitting there waiting that I doubt I will be building out. She's great just for her Heartseeker ability. She does damage based off enemy max HP, decreases the turn meter by 100%. She's got Flurry of Arrows here, which is a 4-time hitter, does the heal reduction. Between these 2 abilities, she is great for, you can run her in a dragon team, you can run her, she's amazing for Fire Knight, getting the shield down, doing massive damage. You can use her early game in Clan Boss. Basically, anywhere where you need somebody to hit a boss hard, she's there. She's an amazing champ, very sought after by a lot of people. I'm lucky enough already that I've pulled a ton of them, and built them out already. But yeah, she is absolutely another amazing game-changing champion. Um, she helped me progress in spiders very quickly. Again, like Fire Knight, I was already up to like level 13 on pretty much every dungeon just because I had her before I even had any of these other champs, before I had Drakomorph, before I had anybody else. She's just that good. So, you know, if you get one, definitely build her out. She's worth it. She's about the only rare nowadays that is actually worth building and maxing out. Um, so yeah, anyways, guys, that's kind of the video today. Those are the game-changing champs I've had on my account. Um, Let me know some of the champs that you've pulled, especially early game that, have made a huge difference for you. Leave it in the comments below. If you liked the video, obviously I definitely would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. But yeah, other than that, guys, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.